The trap of modern pressure. We live in an age where people confuse being busy with being productive, where every second of silence feels like a waste of time, and where stress has become the new measure of importance. If you're not overwhelmed, people think you're not working hard enough. But what if that belief is the very thing destroying your success? You see, success was never about how much pressure you can handle. It's about how calm you can stay in the middle of it all. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself but to your estimate of it." That's the truth most people ignore. It's not the challenge that breaks you, it's your reaction to it. In today's world, we glorify stress. We wear exhaustion like a badge of honor. People brag about sleepless nights, about grinding 20 hours a day, about hustling. But behind the noise and caffeine lies a quiet truth. Stress doesn't create greatness, clarity does. And clarity only exists when the mind is still. The Stoics understood something powerful. A calm mind is an unbeatable mind. Seneca said, "There is nothing so wretched or foolish as to anticipate misfortunes." Most of the stress you feel doesn't come from what's happening, but from what might happen. From imaginary futures. From fears that haven't even been born yet. You destroy your peace by living twice. Once in reality and once in your mind. Ask yourself this: how much of your energy is wasted worrying about what could go wrong? How many of your sleepless nights are built on problems that never even happened? You see, stress doesn't protect you. Poisons you. It drains your focus, kills your confidence, and clouds your judgment. You can't think like a warrior when you're reacting like a victim. The man who stays calm under pressure isn't the one who feels nothing. He's the one who feels everything but refuses to be controlled by it. That's true strength. It's easy to explode, to panic, to lose control. But to stay grounded, to breathe, to act with reason when your heart is racing. That's mastery. Every time you face a stressful situation, you have two choices. React like everyone else, or respond like a stoic. Reacting is easy. It's what the world does. Blame, complain, overthink, and drown in emotion. Responding takes discipline. It's the art of observing before acting. It's saying, "This situation is not good or bad, it simply is. I will decide what it means." The greatest leaders, the strongest minds, the most successful people, they all share one trait. They don't panic. They move with precision, not pressure. They let storms pass while others drown in them. Because they know something most people don't: you can't control the world, but you can control your reaction. When you let stress rule your life, you hand over your power. You become a slave to your emotions, a puppet to your fears. But when you master calm, you reclaim your freedom. You start to see clearly, act wisely, and live powerfully. That's when true success begins, when your peace becomes untouchable. The modern world tells you to rush, to compete, to always do more. But the Stoics whisper a different message: slow down. Because rushing blinds you. Because clarity comes in stillness, not chaos. You can't build an empire with a shaking hand. You can't create greatness from a restless mind. The foundation of success isn't speed, it's stability. And stability comes from inner calm. So the next time life tests you, breathe. Don't react to every fire as if it's the end of the world. Ask yourself, what can I control right now? That's the question that separates the wise from the weak. The truth is, less stress doesn't mean less ambition. It means more focus, more control, more energy for what actually matters. Because when you remove the noise, what remains is power. When you stop fighting everything, you start mastering yourself. Epictetus said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Every moment you spend stressing over what might go wrong, you are living in imagination, not life. And you can't build a real life from imaginary fears. The goal isn't to avoid challenges. The goal is to face them without losing your peace. To walk into the storm and still move with purpose. That's how Stoics lived. That's how warriors think. That's how success is achieved, not through chaos but through composure. Remember, calmness is not weakness. It's a superpower. When everyone else is losing their minds, the calm one leads. When everyone else is breaking down, the calm one builds. And when everyone else is stressing over outcomes, the calm one creates results. Less stress doesn't mean you care less. It means you've learned to care smarter. It means you've stopped letting emotions sabotage your actions. Because stress doesn't serve you, control does. So the next time you feel overwhelmed, remind yourself, I'm not my thoughts. I'm not my emotions. I am the observer. That's what Marcus Aurelius practiced every day, detachment from the noise. He ruled the most powerful empire on earth, yet he wrote in his journal every night, reminding himself to stay calm, humble, and grounded. If a Roman emperor surrounded by wars and politics could do it, so can you. Because success isn't found in chaos, it's born in composure. It's born when you choose peace over panic, purpose over pressure. That's the first step toward less stress, more success. The power of inner stillness. There's a reason why the greatest warriors, thinkers, and leaders throughout history valued silence more than noise. Because silence isn't the absence of sound, it's the presence of control. It's where strength is born, where clarity is forged, and where chaos loses its power over you. Today, most people live in constant motion. They jump from one task to another, one thought to another, one problem to another. Their minds are like crowded cities, full of noise, clutter, and confusion. They think success comes from doing more, but it actually comes from being more still. A Stoic philosopher would tell you this: if your mind is loud, your vision is blind. Because noise clouds judgment. And you can't make powerful decisions from a chaotic state of mind. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of Rome, faced war, betrayal, and endless responsibility, yet he wrote, "Nowhere you can go is more peaceful, more free of interruptions than your own soul." He ruled millions but still found time to be still. Why? Because he understood that leadership, greatness, and peace all begin inside. The truth is, most of your stress doesn't come from life. It comes from resisting life. You fight what is. You argue with reality. You replay moments in your head asking, why me? But life doesn't stop for your emotions. It keeps moving whether you're calm or not. And the only way to stay strong in that movement is to learn the art of stillness. Stillness doesn't mean you stop moving. It means you stop overreacting. It means you act from a place of control, not chaos. It means you stop letting every small inconvenience disturb your peace. Imagine this. A river flows naturally. When you stir it with a stick, it becomes cloudy and muddy. But if you leave it still, it clears up on its own. Your mind works the same way. Every time you overthink, stress, or panic, you stir the water. But if you just breathe, let the thoughts settle, and stay still, clarity returns. That's why the Stoics practiced calmness as a daily ritual. They didn't wait for peace to find them. They created it through discipline. They trained their minds to be quiet even when the world was loud. Because they knew, the calmer the mind, the stronger the action. Stress makes you reactive. Stillness makes you strategic. One acts out of fear, the other acts out of wisdom. One rushes to fix, the other waits to understand. And that difference defines success. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you but how you react to it that matters." When you live in stillness, you stop reacting to life and start directing it. You stop being a slave to your emotions and start becoming a master of your focus. Let me tell you something powerful: stress feeds on attention. The more attention you give it, the stronger it grows. When you constantly say, "I'm so stressed, I'm overwhelmed, I can't handle this," you're feeding the beast. But when you ignore the noise and stay calm, it starves. That's why the most powerful people are often the quietest in the room. They don't need to shout. They don't need to rush. Because they already know what they're doing. Success demands energy and stress drains it. You can't build, lead, or create when your energy is constantly leaking into anxiety. So, protect your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Every fear, every doubt, every worry, it's your imagination spinning against you. Stillness stops that spinning. It brings you back to the present moment, the only place where real life exists. You can't change the past and you can't control the future. All you can do is master now. And mastery begins when your mind becomes still enough to see things clearly. When you are calm, you don't just think better, you live better. You stop rushing. You stop competing. You stop trying to prove your worth to people who don't even know your struggle. You realize you have nothing to prove, only something to build. And you can't build greatness with shaky hands. Stillness gives you strength others can't understand. When everyone else panics, you analyze. When everyone else reacts, you wait. When everyone else loses themselves in chaos, you find yourself in calm. That's what separates leaders from followers. That's what turns ordinary people into extraordinary forces. So, how do you cultivate stillness in a world that never stops moving? You practice three things: presence, breath, and perspective. Presence means to live here, not in your head. When you eat, eat. When you work, work. When you rest, rest. Don't mix everything into one storm of anxiety. Breath is your weapon. When your heart races, when your mind spins, when stress starts to rise, breathe. One deep breath can reset your entire nervous system. It's the simplest, most powerful form of self-control. And perspective, that's your shield. Remember, everything you're facing right now will one day just be a story. So don't let temporary moments steal permanent peace. If it won't matter in 5 years, don't give it 5 minutes of stress. When you practice these 3 things daily, stillness becomes your default. You stop chasing calm, you become calm. And when you are calm, success becomes effortless. Because your mind isn't wasting time fighting itself, it's focused on winning. A calm mind sees opportunities where a stressed one sees obstacles. A calm mind solves problems that a panicked one creates. A calm mind isn't afraid of the storm, it learns how to dance in it. That's what the Stoics mastered. That's what great thinkers, generals, and philosophers all knew. The mind that is still is the mind that conquers. So today, remind yourself, you don't need to fight everything. You don't need to rush, prove, or control every detail. You only need to be still enough to act with wisdom. Because in stillness you find strength. In calmness you find focus. And in peace you find power. Less stress, more success, begins with inner stillness. Detachment, the art of freedom from chaos. One of the most misunderstood strengths in life is detachment. People think being detached means you stop caring. They think it's cold, emotionless, or distant. But they couldn't be more wrong. Detachment isn't about not caring, it's about caring correctly. It's about knowing what deserves your energy and what doesn't. When you are emotionally tied to everything, people's opinions, daily chaos, expectations, your peace becomes fragile. Every little event shakes you. One comment ruins your day. One failure destroys your confidence. And one delay makes you believe the world is against you. But the Stoics knew something powerful. Peace is not found in control, it's found in release. Epictetus said, "Some things are up to us and some are not." That single line is the foundation of a calm and successful life. When you truly understand that, stress begins to die. Look around. Most people are burning out not because life is cruel, but because they're fighting things that were never theirs to control. They try to control outcomes, opinions, timing, luck, all things outside their reach. And then they wonder why they're constantly exhausted. It's because they're pouring energy into things that don't obey their will. Detachment is freedom. It's the understanding that you can give your best, but you can't force the result. You can act with excellence, but you can't dictate how the world reacts. You can prepare endlessly, but you can't control every outcome. When you detach, you stop drowning in what you can't change. You rise above it. You do your part and then you let go. That's not weakness. That's mastery. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." That's the secret. When you stop chasing control, you gain real control over yourself. And self-control is the highest form of power there is. Think about it, the person who can stay calm when everything falls apart wins. Because they don't waste energy fighting the storm. They use that energy to steer through it. The one who can detach from fear, anger, and outcome, that's the person who moves forward while everyone else freezes. Detachment doesn't mean apathy. It means peace with effort. You still care. You still fight. You still build. But you do it with a steady hand and an unshakable mind. You stop reacting from emotion and start acting from purpose. Imagine 2 warriors on a battlefield. One fights with desperation, swinging wildly, afraid of losing. The other fights with calm precision, patient, focused, fearless. Who do you think wins? The one who controls his emotions. Because emotion clouds judgment, but detachment sharpens it. Most people live like emotional slaves. Their moods rise and fall with every piece of news, every message, every outcome. Something goes their way, they're happy. If it doesn't, they collapse. They live at the mercy of external forces. But you can choose a different path. You can choose the Stoic path of detachment. You can choose to care without clinging, to work without worrying, to love without losing yourself. When you detach, you start to understand the power of surrender, not as defeat, but as wisdom. You stop trying to force the river to flow faster. You let it take its course, knowing you'll still reach your destination. Because no amount of stress speeds up destiny. What's meant for you will always find you, but only if you're calm enough to see it when it arrives. Seneca said, "He who suffers before it is necessary, suffers more than necessary." That's what stress is, unnecessary suffering. You think by worrying you're helping yourself. But in truth, you're only multiplying the pain. You're creating storms in your mind before the real one even hits. Detachment allows you to face life as it is, not as you wish it to be. It teaches you to accept reality without resentment, to see things clearly without distortion. And when your perception is clean, your actions become powerful. Let go of the need to control everything. Because control is an illusion, mastery is real. Mastery means you can stay focused when life doesn't go your way. It means you can adapt when plans fall apart. It means you can find peace even in uncertainty. That's what separates the calm from the chaotic. The calm understand that the world doesn't owe them stability, so they create their own. They don't demand easy days, they demand strong minds. You must learn to be untouched by external noise. Someone insults you? It's just words. Someone betrays you? That's their character, not your worth. Plan fails? That's just life teaching you resilience. Everything external is neutral, until your reaction gives it meaning. You see, detachment isn't the end of passion. It's the beginning of power. Because once you stop being emotionally hijacked by everything, you can finally focus on what matters. Your growth, your vision, your purpose. In that space, success comes quietly. Not from chasing or stressing, but from alignment. When your mind is calm and your focus sharp, your work becomes art. You execute without hesitation because you're not fighting yourself. And that's what true success is, the ability to move through life without being moved by everything. Marcus Aurelius didn't rule Rome with emotion. He ruled it with reason. He faced loss, sickness, and betrayal, but never lost his inner stillness. Because he knew every event is neutral until the mind gives it color. And he chose to paint with discipline, not despair. So, when life throws storms your way, don't ask, why me? Ask, how can I stay unshaken through this? That question transforms you. It shifts you from victim to victor. It reminds you that peace is your power, not your privilege. Less stress comes when you stop attaching your peace to outcomes. More success comes when you focus only on your effort. Because the world may not reward you immediately, but mastery always pays. Detach from the noise. Detach from the fear. Detach from the illusion of control. And watch how your power multiplies. When you no longer need things to go your way, everything begins to go your way. When you no longer chase validation, success starts to follow your silence. That's the paradox of detachment. By letting go, you gain everything. So let this be your mantra. I will act with excellence, but I will not cling to the result. I will give my best, but I will not lose my peace. I will move forward, calm, focused, unshakable. Because that's how warriors think. That's how Stoics live. And that's how you rise. With less stress and more success. Control the inner voice before it controls you. There's a voice inside your head that never stops talking. It questions, it doubts, it criticizes, it fears. It tells you you're not ready, not good enough, not capable. And if you let that voice rule your life, stress becomes your master. You don't need enemies outside when the biggest battle is happening inside your mind. Most people lose that war long before life even challenges them. Because they listen to that voice as if it were truth, not realizing it's just noise. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. What you repeatedly think, you become." If your thoughts are full of fear, you'll live a fearful life. If your thoughts are full of calm, strength, and focus, your life will mirror that energy. The truth is, stress begins not in events, but in interpretation. It's not the workload that breaks you, it's the thought that says, I can't handle this. It's not failure that destroys you, it's the thought that says, I'm worthless because I failed. Your life is shaped not by what happens to you, but by the story you tell yourself about it. And that story, that inner dialogue, decides everything. Most people never learn to control it. They wake up and let their minds wander wherever emotions take them. They feed every thought that enters, never questioning if it deserves space. And so their mental garden grows wild, full of weeds of doubt, fear, and chaos. The Stoics knew that the mind must be disciplined like a soldier. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Freedom begins when you realize you are not your thoughts, you are the observer of them. You can choose which ones to listen to, and which ones to let pass like clouds in the sky. You see, the inner voice is not your enemy, it's your test. It's the reflection of your conditioning, your fears, your unresolved pain. And the moment you learn to separate yourself from that voice, you become unstoppable. The mind says, I'm stressed. You respond, no, I'm just facing pressure. I can handle this. The mind says, I'm not enough. You respond, I'm growing, learning, improving, and that's enough. That's what mental mastery looks like. Not silence but control. Not perfection but direction. Most stress is self-created through repetition of negative thought patterns. You repeat worry until it becomes identity. You repeat fear until it becomes habit. But habits can be broken, and the Stoics gave us the tools to do it. First, observe your thoughts without judgment. When something triggers you, pause. Don't react immediately. Ask yourself, what exactly am I thinking right now? Bring the invisible to light. Because awareness is the first weapon against stress. Second, challenge the thought. Ask, is this thought true? Or is it just fear talking? Most of the time, your thoughts are just stories, exaggerated versions of reality. Question them and they lose their power. Third, replace them with strength. If your mind says, I can't handle this, respond with, I've handled worse. If it says, this is too much, respond, this is how I grow. Train your mind to become your ally, not your executioner. This is the essence of Stoic philosophy, turning adversity into advantage. Every stressful moment is an opportunity to practice control. Every thought that tries to break you is a chance to build you. You can't control what enters your mind, but you can control what stays. Marcus Aurelius faced betrayal, war, and death, yet he remained calm. What? Because he trained his inner voice. He wrote every night to remind himself of what truly matters. He confronted his fears on paper before they could live in his mind. That's not weakness, that's discipline. You have to become the gatekeeper of your own mind. Because whatever enters repeatedly shapes your reality. If you let negativity live there rent-free, it will poison everything you do. But if you fill your mind with strength, gratitude, and clarity, stress fades like a shadow in the light. You see, your inner voice responds to leadership. If you lead it with strength, it follows. If you let it lead you with fear, it controls. So lead it with purpose. Speak to yourself like a warrior, not a victim. Every time your mind says, I'm overwhelmed, take a breath and whisper, no, I'm organized, I'm calm, I'm in control. Say it enough times and it becomes your truth. Your brain listens to repetition. So feed it discipline, feed it faith, feed it focus. Seneca said, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Your mind imagines disaster, failure, rejection, and your body reacts as if it's real. You start sweating, panicking, losing focus, all for something that hasn't even happened. That's why controlling your inner voice is the foundation of peace. The moment you stop believing every thought you have, you free yourself. You realize most thoughts are just noise, temporary, meaningless, powerless without your attention. The more you let them pass, the quieter your mind becomes. And in that silence, your strength awakens. Because stress can't survive in a calm mind. Chaos can't survive in clarity. Fear can't survive in awareness. Train your inner voice to serve your vision, not sabotage it. When it whispers doubt, answer with discipline. When it speaks fear, answer with faith. When it brings chaos, answer with calm. That's how Stoics lived, not free from pain but free from panic. They didn't eliminate problems, they eliminated the mental poison that comes with them. They built mental armor so thick that stress could never pierce it. The goal isn't to silence your thoughts, it's to rise above them. To use them as signals, not sentences. When your mind says, this is hard, it's reminding you to focus. When it says, you might fail, it's giving you a chance to practice courage. Everything becomes training if you see it the right way. So stop letting your inner voice drag you into suffering. Start using it as a compass toward strength. Don't fight your mind, guide it. Don't drown in thoughts, direct them. You are not a victim of your mental noise. You are its creator. And what you create, you can control. Remember, the calmest minds win the loudest battles. The clearest thoughts produce the strongest results. And the most disciplined inner voice builds the most powerful life. So the next time stress tries to whisper, you can't handle this, respond with a calm, unshakable tone. Watch me, because the war for peace is fought inside. And when you win that war, success becomes inevitable. Less stress, more success, begins with mastering the voice within. The discipline of letting go. One of the hardest lessons you will ever learn is this: you can't control everything and you were never meant to. The tighter you hold on to things you can't control, the more life slips through your fingers. And that, right there, is the root of almost all human stress. We think control brings peace, but it doesn't. Control brings exhaustion. Peace comes from acceptance. It comes from letting go of the illusion that you can shape every outcome. Marcus Aurelius faced wars, political betrayal, disease, yet he wrote calmly in his journal, accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could more aptly fit your needs? That's not a man surrendering to fate, that's a man free from resistance. He understood that peace is not found in bending life to your will, but in bending your will to life. Every day we wrestle with things beyond our control. The traffic, the weather, the economy, other people's behavior, our past. We fight these things endlessly as if worrying could change them. But all it changes is you. It drains your energy, weakens your focus, and fills your heart with frustration. When you finally understand that some things belong to the universe, not to you, you stop fighting and you start living. Letting go is not weakness. It's power in disguise. It's the ability to say, this situation does not define me. My response does. It's the wisdom to know when to fight and when to release. Seneca said, fate leads the willing and drags the unwilling. Life will always move forward, with or without your consent. When you resist, it drags you. When you flow, it leads you. The Stoic doesn't pray for an easier path. He prays for a stronger mind. He doesn't demand that the storms stop. He demands that his heart stay steady through it. That's what letting go truly is, not giving up but giving way. It's trusting that the path unfolding is the one meant for you, even when you don't understand it yet. Look around at the people consumed by stress. Most of them are clinging to expectations, to timelines, to control. They want life to obey their plan. But life doesn't take orders, it teaches lessons. And when you let go, you allow those lessons to shape you instead of break you. You will notice something powerful. The moment you stop resisting, the chaos loses its power. The noise fades. Your mind becomes lighter. You start to feel free, not because life got easier, but because you stopped carrying unnecessary weight. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop suffering. It means you give your best without attachment to the result. It means you trust the process, knowing your effort is enough. Think of an archer. He trains for years. He draws the bow, aims and releases. Once the arrow leaves his hand, he can't control the wind or the distance. He can only control his aim and his release. That's life. Your aim is your intention. Your release is your peace. But most people never release. They keep holding the bow, shaking under pressure, worrying about where the arrow will land. That's what stress is, an endless attempt to control what's already out of your hands. The Stoic way is different. You do your part with precision, purpose, and strength, then you let go. You trust that whatever happens is not against you, but for you. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Even the obstacles you fear are secretly preparing you for greatness. But you can't see that truth if your mind is clouded with resistance. Letting go is also about people. You can't control who stays or who leaves. You can't control how others treat you or how they perceive you. You can only control your reaction, your energy, your integrity. Stop trying to fix people who don't want to change. Stop chasing closure from people who can't give it. Stop expecting fairness in a world that was never designed to be fair. Free yourself from the emotional chains of attachment, because attachment creates fear. Fear of loss, fear of rejection, fear of uncertainty. And where there is fear, peace cannot live. Epictetus taught his students to treat everything they love as borrowed. He said, never say about anything, I have lost it, but only, I have returned it. That is true freedom, the kind that no storm can take away. When you adopt that mindset, you stop gripping life with desperation. You start holding it with gratitude. You appreciate what you have while it's here. And when it leaves, you smile, because it was never truly yours to keep. This kind of acceptance turns stress into serenity, because stress is born from fear and fear is born from attachment. When you detach, you destroy the root of fear. Letting go is also letting go of the past. You cannot rewrite what's already written. So stop reopening old wounds expecting new outcomes. The past is a lesson, not a prison. Take what it taught you and move forward lighter, wiser, freer. Remember, you don't heal by controlling the past. You heal by accepting it. You don't grow by forcing outcomes. You grow by flowing with them. And that's the paradox of success. When you stop trying to force control, you gain real control over yourself, your focus, your peace. Letting go is a discipline. It's not something that happens overnight. It's something you practice daily. Every time something disturbs your peace, ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is no, release it immediately. Don't waste your mental energy wrestling with what's already done. Your time is too valuable, your mind too powerful, your purpose too important. The greatest strength is not the ability to hold on, it's the ability to release without breaking. To keep walking forward when life says, wait. To keep trusting when everything feels uncertain. That's what makes you unstoppable. So breathe. Release the need to control. Release the need to know what happens next. Release the pressure that says, I must have it all figured out. Because nobody does. Not even the wise. What the wise have is faith. Faith in the process, faith in their strength, faith in the lessons hidden inside every moment. You can't always control life, but you can always control how much of yourself you give away to stress. So give less energy to what's outside your power, and more to what's within it, your focus, your peace, your discipline. Let go, not because you're weak, but because you're finally strong enough to. Because the one who can let go at will is the one who cannot be broken. Less stress, more success. That's the way of the unshakable mind. The calm within chaos. Most people live at the mercy of noise. They are pulled by every demand, distracted by every message, and shaken by every challenge. Their minds are restless like a storm that never ends. And because of that, they never find peace. And without peace, there can be no true success. But here's a truth the Stoics lived by. Peace is not the absence of chaos. It's the ability to remain calm within it. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire that was constantly at war. But he wrote his meditations not as an emperor, but as a man trying to stay calm while the world burned around him. He understood something most people never do. The world will never calm down. You have to. Stress is born when your inner world becomes a reflection of your outer one. When you let noise invade your peace, you lose your power. You stop responding, you start reacting. And the one who reacts is always controlled. But the one who remains calm, the one who breathes in the middle of chaos, is untouchable. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you but how you react to it that matters." Those aren't just words, they're a shield. Because once you master your reactions, you become free from everything you cannot control. You can't control the storm, but you can control your sails. You can't control the noise, but you can control your attention. You can't control the chaos, but you can control your calm. That's where success begins, inside the quiet mind. Think about it. When you're stressed, your thoughts scatter, your focus breaks, and your vision fades. But when you're calm, your mind sharpens. Your energy becomes precise, and you start making decisions from clarity, not panic. Calm is not laziness. It's power under control. It's the ability to walk through the fire without letting it burn your soul. When you stay calm, people notice. They start trusting you more. They start following your lead. Because calm people emit strength. They don't shout. They don't overreact. They simply know. That kind of calm doesn't come naturally. It's built through practice, through discipline, through the daily decision to not let external chaos steal your inner peace. The Stoics had a ritual. Every morning they would visualize the difficulties of the day ahead. They didn't do this to create anxiety. They did it to prepare the mind for anything. They understood that chaos loses its power when you stop pretending it shouldn't exist. Life is unpredictable. You will face setbacks, misunderstandings, and losses. But if your peace depends on everything going your way, you'll never have peace. Real strength is when nothing outside of you controls the inside of you. It's when you walk through noise and remain centered. It's when the world screams for your attention, and you choose silence. That's what makes you rare. Because the majority will always panic. They'll lose focus the moment something goes wrong. They'll crumble under pressure. But not you. You've trained your mind for this. You've built your fortress within. Understand this. Calmness doesn't mean you don't feel emotion. It means you don't become a slave to it. It means your emotions serve you, not the other way around. When you stay calm under pressure, you become the eye of the storm. The storm is still there, but you stand still while everything else spins. That's mastery. That's control. You will face chaos again and again. But each time you respond with composure instead of panic, you're rewiring your brain to handle more, to hold steady under greater challenges. Soon, what once broke you will no longer move you. What once scared you will no longer control you. That's how stress transforms into strength. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." That line contains an entire philosophy. The problem is never the situation. It's the story you tell yourself about the situation. It's your interpretation that builds or breaks you. When something goes wrong, you have two choices: resist and suffer, accept and adapt. The first drains your energy. The second strengthens your focus. You can't control outcomes, but you can control outlooks. And outlooks shape everything. Calmness is clarity, and clarity creates results. Look at the great leaders of history, the ones who built legacies that lasted centuries. They all had one thing in common: composure under pressure. While others panicked, they observed. While others reacted, they thought. While others fought chaos, they mastered it. That's what you must become. A calm mind in a loud world. A quiet force in a restless crowd. A steady flame in the middle of the storm. But don't confuse calmness with indifference. You still act. You still push forward. You still demand excellence. You just do it without noise, without fear, without emotional chaos. Because when the mind is calm, your actions are pure. When the mind is quiet, your direction is clear. To reach your goals, you don't need more energy. You need less waste, and stress is the biggest waste of all. When you waste energy on worry, you rob yourself of power. When you stay calm, that energy becomes fuel. You start performing better, thinking clearer, living freer. Remember, calm is a weapon. When everyone else loses theirs, you keep yours. That's how you win. So the next time chaos comes, and it will, don't ask, why is this happening to me? Ask, how can I stay centered through this? Don't fight the noise. Rise above it. Breathe. Ground yourself. Observe without reacting. Because the one who controls their mind controls their world. And that's the ultimate advantage in life. To be calm when others break. To be still when others rush. To be composed when others lose control. That's what makes you unstoppable. That's what brings success that lasts. Calm is not weakness. It's confidence. It's mastery. It's what separates the ordinary from the powerful. Remember this. You cannot control the chaos around you, but you can always master the calm within you. That's the heart of Stoicism. That's the path to peace. That's how you achieve less stress, more success. Because when you rule your mind, no storm can ever rule you. Mastery of mind, mastery of life. You've walked through the principles, the disciplines, the practices. You've learned about stillness, detachment, control of the inner voice, letting go, and calm in chaos. Now it's time to understand the ultimate truth. Success is never outside, it is within. Everything you've been chasing, recognition, wealth, power, validation, it all begins and ends with your mind. Because the world doesn't give power to those who panic. It gives power to those who act with clarity, calm, and control. The Stoics knew this. They understood that life is unpredictable, brutal, and often unfair. And yet, they taught that peace is not given by circumstance. It is earned through mastery of self. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This isn't philosophy for idle reading. It's a battle plan. It's a strategy for those who want to achieve more with less stress. Think about it. Stress is wasted energy. It comes from trying to control what cannot be controlled. It comes from letting fear dominate your actions. It comes from giving too much attention to noise, distractions, and other people's opinions. The moment you stop giving your power away, the moment you refuse to be a puppet to circumstance, you become unstoppable. Every great achiever in history shares one trait. They understood the limits of control. They didn't fight the world, they fought their own reactions. They didn't waste time on fear, they used focus as their weapon. They didn't surrender to chaos, they cultivated calm as their fortress. This is the essence of less stress, more success. It's not a promise of a life without challenges. It's a guarantee that you can face any challenge with composure. It's not about avoiding pressure, it's about thriving under it. It's not about removing obstacles, it's about seeing opportunity through them. Epictetus taught, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." The modern translation is simple. True success is mental mastery. When you reduce the chaos inside, you see clearly. When you reduce the unnecessary demands on your mind, your energy multiplies. When you stop chasing external validation, your actions become pure. Every challenge you face is a test of focus, of resilience, of discipline. And every stressor is a teacher if you choose to see it that way. Remember the river metaphor. Chaos is the water and your mind is the bank. You cannot stop the river from flowing, but you can shape the path it takes through discipline and control. When your bank is strong, the water flows around it without destroying it. That's mental mastery. Now, take a moment and think about your own life. How much of your stress is real and how much is imagined? How often do you replay events, worry about outcomes, or carry burdens that aren't yours to carry? All of that is wasted energy, energy that could be invested in action, focus, and growth. The Stoics remind us that we are not slaves to circumstance. We are architects of our perception. And perception creates reality. When your perception is disciplined, focused, and calm, your reality aligns with it. Here's a practical truth. Less stress doesn't mean less ambition. It means smarter ambition. It means directing energy toward what truly matters. It means choosing clarity over chaos, focus over frenzy, calm over panic. Every morning, remind yourself, I cannot control what happens today, but I can control how I respond. Every evening, reflect. Did I let chaos control me or did I control it? When you make this a habit, your mind becomes unshakable. No external event can break your focus. No criticism can shake your confidence. No failure can destroy your progress. And here's the paradox. The calmer your mind becomes, the more unstoppable your actions are. When stress no longer clouds your judgment, your decisions are sharper. When fear no longer hijacks your energy, your work becomes stronger. When doubt no longer controls your thoughts, your vision becomes clear. That is the essence of mastery, controlling what is within your power, while letting go of what is not. The Stoics didn't seek comfort. They sought freedom. Freedom from fear, from anxiety, from chaos. And freedom begins when you master your mind. You must understand this deeply. Success is not measured by what happens to you, but by how you handle what happens. You can endure poverty or wealth, praise or criticism, loss or victory, but only the calm, disciplined mind thrives under it all. So commit today to mental mastery. Observe your thoughts without being controlled by them. Detach from what you cannot control. Let go of past burdens and unnecessary fears. Breathe through chaos and act with precision. Focus on effort, not outcome. Do this consistently and you will discover a truth the world rarely teaches. Less stress leads to more clarity, more action, more results, more success. You will notice a shift. Your mind will stop spinning. Your energy will increase. Your focus will sharpen. Your life will align. Success is never about luck or endless hustle. It's about strategy, the strategy of the mind. And when your mind is mastered, stress becomes a tool, not a trap. Challenges become opportunities. Obstacles become lessons. Pressure becomes fuel. Less stress is not a life without problems. More success is not a life without effort, but a life where your mind is unshakable, your focus unwavering, and your actions precise, no matter what comes. This is your final lesson in this journey. The external world will never be calm. It will always challenge, test, and provoke you. But the inner world, your mind, can always be mastered. And mastery of the mind is the highest form of success. It cannot be stolen, it cannot be bought, and it cannot be destroyed. It is permanent, unshakable, and eternal. So take control. Discipline your thoughts. Detach from what you cannot control. Let go of fear and worry. Breathe through chaos. Act with precision. Stay calm when others panic. Master your mind. Because when you do, success is inevitable. When you do, stress loses its power. When you do, life finally aligns with your will and your greatness. Less stress, more success. This is not a philosophy. It is a way of life. It is the path of the unshakable mind.